but I just want to say it because it's funny. So POP stands for pattern of progress, and then robot because Chafin and I joke that we're robots and we have to go and recharge all the time. So we go into our bed, not our bed.
Meditation,
We don't
sleeping.
share a bed, but yeah, meditations and naps. And so we have to like recharge all the time. So we're like robots. So POP robot TBI. I just wanted to say it.
Hey, hey, my name is Chafin.
And I'm Celia.
We are concussion buddies, TBI buddies, and we are here to talk about things that we have been learning through our TBI journey and here to share it with you. What we're going to do first is we are going to share our intention. Actually, before we even do that, some side notes. So we are not going to look at our screens while we're doing this. We are trying to preserve our brains as much as possible. So Celia is putting a piece of paper over her camera, or no, over her screen, and I'm just gonna black out my screen. So if for whatever reason you see us looking off into the distance, it is because staring at one screen or one place for a long time is not great for our eyes. We need to, with our eyes, keep changing it up, looking nearsighted, farsighted, and really changing up that vision to help our brain not get so worn out. So if you see me looking out the window, that is why. Alrighty. So intention. Celia, you want to go first with what your intention is?
Yes, my intention is to stay present and and I hope that at least one person finds this information helpful, useful.
Yeah. Okay. My intention is to let go and surrender. Celia knows that I have a tendency to want to take control of situations, especially when my symptoms are flaring. And it is a day where my symptoms are flaring. So I really want to take control and make things perfect. So my intention is just to let go and let it be. Alrighty. So we are going to do some breath work before we get into we pull a card each time. And before we do that, we're going to do some breath work to really just calm our immune system and our nervous system down. Um,
Get grounded.
yeah, to get grounded. Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the 4-6-8 breathing. So what we're going to do is you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. You hold it for 6 seconds, and then you slowly release it through your mouth for 8 seconds. And what this does is it turns on your parasympathetic nervous system. So your sympathetic nervous system is the one that is in the fight or freeze or run away. And then your parasympathetic is the one that calms you down. And by doing this breathing, by having an extended exhale, it actually triggers that and it starts it to work a little bit more than it normally does. So I'm going to count us off and we will begin. So 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, we stretch if you need to. All right.
That was nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's dive in. So, Celia and I do two questions, a what went well, and then what did you learn? So we do this because we are working to change up our minds to focus on the positive, as well as looking at challenges as learning opportunities. As a health coach, I help people realize that the things that they might hate doing, or they find super hard, or they feel like they failed at, essentially, they're opportunities to grow from. As if we're always perfect and we're always doing things right, we don't necessarily move forward. We just stay in that one area. So Celia and I are working to really think that way with our TBIs through asking these questions each week, and just really thinking through what went well and what do we learn? What were the challenges that we faced, but we learned something from them. So Celia, you up for going first?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
So what went well in the last week? I would say so a few weeks ago now, maybe it's been 3 weeks. I went on a boat and, so I'm still coming back from what happened from the boat overstimulation. And so what went well this week was I was very patient with myself. And I did a great job of not pushing myself to do things that would probably continue to set me back. I did realize actually just yesterday I was incredibly cranky, and I realized to try to get back to my baseline from 3 weeks ago, I wasn't like going to the gym and trying to do yoga classes at the gym almost every day. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to cut back on exercise so I can feel better. And it turns out that wasn't the best idea. And so I did a little Pilates workout yesterday, and then my mood was like instantly so much better. So what I did well was really cut back and really be patient, take it easy. But then I sort of forgot the component of I do need to move my body for my mood, amongst other things. And Chaffin was talking to me about, maybe she can elaborate, like what you said about how I still need to be active even if I'm trying to be less active. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So Celia and I'm sure all of you too, with your TBI journeys, you get better, you have setbacks, you get better, you have setbacks. Well, I have a tendency that in my setback, like with Celia, to just slow down and not do anything, because that makes sense, right? When you're in pain, you rest. Well, my physical therapist told me that when you have pain, yes, resting is important, but also still doing the activity is very important, because our brains are connected to our entire bodies. So where we think my brain hurts, I just need to rest it. Well, essentially, when we rest everything, we're not using all of these muscles that are connected to the brain. So if these things get out of whack from lack of use, it starts pulling on our neck, and we start compensating for the lack of use with these muscles. We start compensating with our neck muscles, which then pulls on our brain. And then we don't get as much blood flow because we're not walking and using our muscles. Our immune system will get jacked up, because if we don't actually like turn our neck and do different exercises and whatnot, our brain actually constricts, and these muscles constrict to push fluid through our immune system. And so if we're just not moving, the pushing fluid becomes reduced, and then it gets built up and blocked up in here. And you can get a sinus infection like me from not moving my neck for many, many months.
Okay, so Chafin, that makes so much sense because in recent past, my neck has felt so much better and I'm not getting the head pressure in. And in the last few weeks, like the neck pain and head pressure were building back up. And I'm like, why is this coming back? And it's like, I wasn't moving my body.
Yep. I had that same realization recently. My PT was like, why haven't you been doing your PT exercises? And I'm like, well, I was in pain. She's like, that's why you do PT exercises, to help with the pain. So,
well, because like the brain, it takes brain energy to like learn things and speak to people and stuff, but then also to exercise. So it's like interesting to find a balance of, okay, I'm not doing so great. So what percent of my brain that I do have, brain energy that I do have, am I going to put towards exercise or, movement and, the other aspect.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, okay, I'll just take a huge backseat of movement and also, cut back on like screens and stuff. And it's like, no, you need a little bit of each. Keep them both going, I guess.
Yeah.
So what went well is through this setback, I was very patient with myself.
Yep.
And I can continue at this time to the next question while I remember what I'm talking about.
Go for it.
Thank you. So what did you learn? And I did some serious reflecting yesterday, as one does when they are in a situation where they just have to stare at the wall.
A lot of reflecting.
What are we left to do? What activity am I left to do? Yep. I guess the universe wants me to reflect right now. So I hope someday soon to stop talking about the boat day, but I don't think I'll be done talking about it because it's a good reminder for me. But so I reflected on the boat day, and there was a time like halfway through the day where someone else on the boat had seasickness or whatever. They were getting really nauseous. And so they were like, we're bringing the boat back and this person's going to get off the boat. And in my head, I was like, I should get off the boat, And but it was a person's boat I didn't know, and I just felt guilty, like I'm gonna make this person mad if I ruin their boat day by like walking away from it, when they, allowed space for me on their boat. And so it's like, so looking back, so one of my things I'm definitely focused on is taking the intuitive hints from my body. And looking back at that, I definitely had the intuitive hit, like whatever. This is your opportunity. The boat is back on shore. You should get off the boat, even if it upsets other people's day, including the person who drove me there. And anyhow, lesson hopefully learned, because I believe that was definitely like the universe giving me the opportunity to be like, I'm choosing to take care of myself over pleasing these other people, and I messed it up, and then I'm definitely paying for it. So that was a big reflection for me, and I'm happy because I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping going forward I'll have an opportunity and I'll stick up for myself despite other people's opinions of it, because we have to take care of ourselves. No one else is going to do it ultimately. So
yeah. And the power of being able to look back on that. I mean, when I know my setback, I'm like, oh, I hate that. Like I can think about it so negatively, but you're not doing that. I mean, you might be fighting that. But what I just heard is you're really looking to see what can you learn from it to empower you later on. Like you're looking at your patterns and you're saying, okay, this one's good, this one's bad, this one I want to learn from, this one I want to grow from. And you're becoming aware so you can do it later on.
Awareness. Yes.
Nice.
That's that's my share.
All
Until
right.
next week when I can talk about the boat again.
Hopefully next week you won't be talking about the boat.
So Chafin, what went well for you?
Yeah, okay. So I practiced being bored yesterday. Um, this week I'm trying to do no unnecessary screen time, which I would say I'm doing better. Like no Facebook, no social media whatsoever, no YouTube, no videos of any sort. Only looking at the computer for work stuff. Um, and so yesterday I came home after working and I needed a break. And normally I would whip out YouTube because, it produces happy thoughts and happy feelings and laughter, even though it usually makes my brain feel like mush. But at least I'm happy mush. um, and so I was like, nope, can't do that. And so I made myself some hot chocolate and I sat on my chair and then I stared out the window for 30 minutes and thought about things.
Wait, who drinks hot chocolate in July?
Look, we need to be things that make us happy, and I couldn't watch YouTube, so chocolate makes me happy.
Okay, actually, that makes sense. I take it back. Sorry. Carry
There,
on.
right? There you go. And it was my own version, so there was no sugar, so it was good. It's good. But yeah, I was really proud of myself. As like I've been working on what you're actually teaching me, Celia, is how to reframe boredom. So I was thinking in that moment, I was like, man, I'm gonna be so bored. And then I was like, no, this is an opportunity to just sit and relax and free myself of feeling like I have to do anything. And so I started out with just being grateful for, I think I was grateful for like 56 things around me. So I was that bored. It's just like, I am grateful for the wall paint. I am grateful for the floor. It was a long list. But I'm really proud of myself that I was able to have that moment of peace. And then I was able to reset myself and reboot and continue with my day after that. So it was good. Yeah. And then things I learned. So last Thursday, I did everything right. And yet my brain still was not a happy camper. And so I really I was with my boyfriend and I tried to bottle the feelings up. I was really depressed that day. And I was miserable because my head was hurting so much. And I was trying to act happy and be confident for him. And then I just asked him, I said, I just asked, I said, I'm not doing well. Can I just cry for a few minutes? And he was like, yeah, just go ahead, let it out. And I just let myself cry and I let myself talk about how miserable I was feeling. And it was, I think, 6 minutes. And then I felt so much better. Like it was this huge weight lifted off. And I realized I think I was making the pain worse by not acknowledging the feelings with it. So I have learned that lesson countless times, literally once a week, maybe twice, and I still have to relearn it because I forget it, that it's okay to feel feelings. It's okay to cry. It's okay to tell someone you feel like crap. So I relearned that lesson.
Something to be said with when it's all bottling up and then it's like if you do end up crying, you feel so much better and you're like, why didn't I think of this sooner?
Right? Almost every time.
It's like, yeah.
Yep. All right, you up for reading a card?
I am shuffling the cards. I'm trying to do it quietly. Tell me if this is quiet.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
Really?
I think it needs to be loud. The more
I'm such a gentle shuffler.
bring on the sound.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
Oh boy. I'm turning on my screen for this so I can see the card.
Okay.
the way to new potential.
Shift the way to new potential. Shift my chair as I grab the book to read the message. And then I just lost the card. Nope, there it is. Okay. So, shift the way to new potential. The card essence: Lightworker purpose ignited, a shift in your consciousness, human evolution, the charisma of a powerful light leader, the awareness of your thoughts, things coming into alignment with your highest purpose, your soul story, and uncovering your highest potential. The self-care message: a need for humility. Determination, tolerance, and perseverance, showing patience and understanding. Letting go of expectations, accepting new ways of thinking, having one foot in the old and one foot in the new. This is hilarious. This is like way too much. Way too much. This is way too related.
I know, right? Like this is everything we just discussed.
This is like.
Okay, was that it?
I need.
Anything more?
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
That was it.
That was spot on for literally the what went well, what did you learn? You want to go first or you want me to share first?
I don't even know where to start. Do you know where to start?
I know there was a lot there.
I can break it down for us.
Okay, do that.
Okay. A need for humility. Does that mean being humble?
Yeah, I mean,
Or is that a different word?
No, yeah, being humble. Yep.
Yep. Well, this is an incredibly humbling experience.
Right?
When
you go to the store wearing your headphones, plus I wear blue glasses and then earplugs on the inside and can't hear anything they're telling me at the cash register. That's very humbling, that's for sure.
And then like I'm at a restaurant where you have to say all the food you want over the counter, and like you don't remember the names of any of the food, and they're just like, tell them words are hard, and then they just look at you like, what are you talking about? And you can't order your food. So yeah, it's very humbling. We laugh because we like to laugh, but these things are not necessarily funny for everyone. But
no, and they're not funny in the moment always. Like it's humbling. I think we all have images of ourselves, of who we want to be and who we think we are. So even if you're someone who doesn't work out, you can still think you're strong and athletic or something like that. Like we have these images, and then the TBI comes in and rips away almost every image you have for yourself, unless you're someone who enjoys sitting at home and staring at the wall before the TBI. Then you still have your image around yourself. But yeah,
like it says one foot in the old and one foot in the new. So it's, yeah, we're in those moments and we still remember our old self, and we still think like it's like the whole grieving your previous life situation.
Yeah. It's hard to
letting go of expectations is a big one.
Yeah. Well, it's like letting go of the expectation of the old. For instance, I no longer want to be who I was before my TBI. There are many days where I do. But overall, I am trying to remind myself that who I am becoming, the new me, is far greater, far wiser, far more powerful, far more intrinsically connected with myself, holistic, all these things, all these good things. I'm far more of those things now and will continue to be more and more of those things than I ever was in the past. So it's like, yeah, letting go of those expectations of returning to what I used to be and trying to focus on who I am now and who I am becoming. Yeah, very humbling to, again, let go of the past. Yeah.
Talks about a shift in your consciousness.
You want to speak to that?
I was hoping you would.
Okay.
Well, I would say, so I spent the first year after the injury, uh, seemingly just suffering. And then I had a relationship end, and then there was some space in my life where I focused completely on myself. And long story short, I ended up having a spiritual awakening. And prior to that, I couldn't have been farther. I was like atheist. And so just like learning about the mind-body connection, I also realized we're not just bodies on this planet. And so that's been something probably to talk about for another time, but it's really helped with healing as far as subscribing to something greater than myself. And so I've gone ahead and decided I've subscribed to the idea that I'm going to get better, and instantly noticed a shift, a huge improvement in my symptoms after doing that. And so I guess I don't know if that was a good explanation,
Great explanation.
but it's been a beautiful gift. It's so amazing. And so that gift alone, the what feels like suffering, that no one enjoys that, I don't think. But it makes it worth it because we're like you mentioned so many great things, Chafin, that we've stepped into on the other side of our injuries. And so the card is shift the way to new potential, and that is just exactly what the injury did for me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. And I kind of forgot what I was talking about, but
I
things
think,
coming into alignment with your highest purpose. That just feels good. I like that.
yeah. I like going back to the consciousness and higher purpose. I I'm a health coach, and I thought that I was very aligned with what health looks like, in terms of, eating and exercising. And gosh, I had so many goals I was working on before my brain injuries. So I've had multiple. And even after the fifth, sixth, seventh, I still kept going. I still had goals. I still pushed myself way too hard. And now the consciousness shift for me is realizing that health is so important. And health means like a holistic health, and that I can't just keep going in all these areas, because eventually I'm going to burn out. So like if I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and working super hard, that's okay. But big picture, how long am I going to do that for? And so now, every day I have to really consider, is it worth working hard on this? Or is it better to take it easy, take it slow? And I'm learning that it's more important to focus in on where my health is, what my body needs, what my emotions need. And I have the opportunity to do that because I'm not working full time. But when I do start working full time, I really want to still embody that mindset of, yeah, it's okay to push, but where do I need to give in? Where do I need to listen more to my body and pull back from something else? Because we're not meant to just go, 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 go the whole time. So that's been a huge shift in consciousness for me.
Okay, I worked so hard not to interrupt you,
Thanks.
but I guess I did just now, but I wanted to interrupt you minutes ago.
Go for it. Say what you want to say.
Okay, so same. I was an athlete my whole life. I have a bachelor's in kinesiology, bachelor's of science, and then I went back later and got a bachelor's in nursing. And I was working as I was working in healthcare and thought I understood health and how to be healthy. And it wasn't until this injury that I really now understand that I had no idea. I really had no idea. And so now it's like, I guess sometimes maybe like that's the way you have to learn it, you can read all the books, but you don't know until you know. And I was gonna say, oh, and so it's so much more than that. Like there's plenty of people with degrees and things, and they don't understand actual healing, like what the body needs, body, mind, and soul. And so now it's like learning, like what we really need is we need to know when to get off the boat.
Or when to not push through hanging out with friends even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, such simple things.
And so now, my fellow robots, we're going to do a nervous system calming technique led by the infamous Chaffin.
Okay. So a simple one is if you are very overwhelmed and anxious, rub your earlobes and rub your ears all up and down. I went to a concussion clinic and they told me that rubbing your ears, they're something cranial sacral nerves. I'm not exactly sure. There are some nerves in here that connect to your brain and essentially tell you to calm down. So if you just rub your ears, I don't know if you feel it, Celia, but I already feel myself calming down.
It's very calm. I actually forgot I was on this call because I was getting so relaxed.
Nice. Okay, that's the easy tidbit. Alrighty, Celia, quote time.
Okay, I'm going to share a quote from Sri Swami Satchidananda. Normally I say it correctly. I'm not going to try again right now because I feel like I'm going to do it worse. Okay, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Alrighty, well, thank you for participating with us. And if you have any comments or things you want to share about what went well or what you learned, or any nervous system relaxation techniques or whatever, please feel free to share those if you want to in the comment section. Okay, peace.
Peace.